I started streaming back in 2017, and at the time of recording this video, that was a little over 5 years ago. And so for 5 years, there's one question that I've been asked continually that I just got again the other day. And I thought, okay, it's time to make a video about it. We haven't done one yet. We've made a bunch of other tutorials about streaming, but we haven't done one on this specific thing. So today we're going to cover 5 ways to continue talking when Twitch chat is dead. And this could be YouTube chat, Facebook chat. It doesn't really matter. Wherever you stream, we're going to talk about the 5 ways that you can continue talking and entertaining and keep the conversation alive, even when the chat isn't moving at all. Now, I'm assuming most of you guys that are watching this video are probably either streaming or thinking about getting into streaming, which means you're going to love the sponsor of today's video, and that is OWNBD. With a large library of professionally made stream overlay packages, an emote maker, and even sub badges, OWNBD has your stream graphics covered. Their premium overlay packages, for instance, include animated alerts, webcam borders, banners, Twitch panels, and more to make sure your stream looks professional and your branding is consistent. You can even customize these overlays with the elements you want to use, making your final design specific to you. On top of all of this, you can use code EagleGarrett at checkout to get 50% off of your purchase. So check out OWNBD with my link in the description and get your stream set up today. Definitely check out OWNBD.tv, you guys. They'll get you set up with all the graphics you need for your streams. And I've got a link in the description that'll take you over there to support this channel if you'd like. But also, if you use my code EagleGarrett, you will save 50% off of anything that you buy on the site. So check it out, you guys. Huge thank you to OWNBD for sponsoring these videos. Now, the big question, like I said, that we're talking about today is, what do you do when your chat dies? In my case, it's Twitch chat. For you, it could be Twitch or YouTube or Facebook. But what happens when you have a dead chat and nobody's talking, right? We need to change our perspective. Once we get into the mindset that our stream is an entertainment piece that's live, right? And we can't rely on the chat to carry on the content. At that point, we start implementing the 5 different tips that we're going to talk about. And number 1 is, if there's a lull in chat and you don't know what to talk about and you feel like, you haven't had a good conversation in a while, this very first tip is to literally think out loud. And I know it sounds simple, and it pretty much is simple, but the reality is that whatever pops into your head while you're streaming is a potential part of your content. So for instance, if you are sitting there thinking while you're streaming, nobody's in chat, you don't feel like anybody's watching, or maybe you've got like 2 lurkers or something, and you're thinking about, man, I got to go do all this laundry, right? I've got my laundry stacked up. I need to go do my laundry, and I feel like I just did it, yesterday, but it's already ready to be done again. People are going to also maybe be feeling that same way about their laundry. That's a good thing to say out loud. It sounds kind of dull, like I'm talking about laundry, but it's something that people can relate to. So if you literally are sitting there and you say, man, you know what, guys, I got a lot of laundry to do. I know it's super random, but I was just thinking about the fact that I don't even know if I've got enough, laundry detergent. I might have to go to the store and buy laundry detergent. And I feel like I just did it yesterday, but it's been a week. You see what I'm saying? You can start running with that idea and keep talking to the chat about it, and just go off of each little thing that pops into your head that has to do with your laundry. And even though it's laundry, there's a lot of people that got to do laundry. So it's going to be a great conversation for people. And it doesn't have to be laundry. It could be anything. That's just an example. But if you're thinking about something, as long as it's not going to be inappropriate or break Twitch TOS or something like that, right? Then talk about it out loud. Share it with anybody who may be lurking. And you'll find that you may have somebody pop in and be like, you know what? I actually am doing laundry right now. Or like, I got to do my laundry too, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about. And now you've got a conversation starter that's rolling, and you got a conversation that can go for a little while. More people may pop into it, right? You may pull some people out of lurk, right? They may be sitting there watching but not interacting, and now they're hearing you talk about laundry. They come back to the computer like, dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. I hate doing my laundry, right? Or whatever, right? It's just getting the conversation going. So don't be afraid to think out loud. Now, tip number 2 is kind of along that same lines, except for it has to do with the content you're producing through the game, and that is to make observations, commentate, and narrate what is going on in the game, right? If you are playing a game and there are things happening in that game, you can commentate on it, right? What's up, Barry? Look at Barry over here. So you're too young to be loitering about outside. Go get your butt home right now. All right, Barry. Chill, Barry. Goodness gracious. You got a scar on your face and a beard and long hair. You think you're so cool? Just tell me to go home. I'm out here, bro. I'm a hero. Don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna stay outside. It's raining. I'm gonna play in the rain. Jeez, Barry. I'll go inside, all right? You could literally pretend like you're a sports commentator. You could commentate just, observations you make in the game. Maybe there's a vending machine that has a weird name for their soda that they're selling, and you'd be like, hey guys, what is this over here? Bubbly, Bubbly Bubbles. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. Whatever, right? You look at that and you're like, dude, that's a weird can name, right? That's a weird soda name. And then that spurs on the conversation. Well, what's your favorite soda in real life, right? Like, what are some of the best names for soda? Like, what names are bad names for soda? What's the strangest one you've ever had? Things like that. There's all of these questions and these conversations that can come out of the fact that you noticed that there was a vending machine on the side of a level that you're in that had a weird name for their advertisement of the can of soda on it, right? That's another conversation starter. So start making observations or commentating or narrating what you're doing in the game, because it also helps when people are lurking and they're just listening to your stream. If they're listening to you play a game and all they hear are the sounds of your character, like walking and maybe some gunshots and maybe you crawling, but they don't hear you saying anything, then it's not going to be very entertaining to them. They could go switch over to a stream where somebody's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made it over this cliff. Like, that was the craziest jump. These dudes are attacking me though. I've got to shoot them. And you start like going off into this whole idea of more of the radio, right? When somebody is listening to the radio or listening to a podcast, they're not visually watching something because they may be working on a project, but they want to have some noise going on. They want their imagination to kind of run wild as they're doing something else. And so that also helps in that regard. So don't be afraid, like I said, to narrate what's going on, to commentate what's going on, and make observations in the game that you're playing or with whatever it is that you're doing. Tip number 3 is something that I've experimented with before and works very, very well, but that's having a question of the day. Before your stream, have a simple question that could be a silly question. It could be a inquisitive question. What's your favorite donut? Do you think that pineapple belongs on pizza? Are there more doors in the world than there are wheels, or wheels than doors? Like, you can think of a question of the day that will spur on conversations for people, right? What's your favorite color is kind of a basic one, but that can lead into a bunch of other conversations as well. So think of some question that you haven't asked and make it your question of the day. Now, if you have trouble thinking of questions on the spot, you do need to probably write this down beforehand, but also make yourself a list of maybe a main question and then follow-up questions or conversational topics that you want to bring up at different points to the stream. If you have trouble thinking on the fly or having an extemporaneous type of conversation, then writing it down on a little list can help a ton, and this really will change the game. So think of a question of the day, at least one, have it ready so that when somebody does jump in, you see your viewer number go up, or somebody says hi in the chat, don't just say hi back to them and then leave them hanging. Say hi, what's up, how's your day? Question for you: pineapple on pizza, yes or no, right? And that's an age-old question. Everybody knows that question. Everybody's debated it, but it's a good one, right? And it's that whole idea of something that everybody's going to have an opinion about, and just ask. Great way to get people pulled into the conversation and to keep it going. And if nobody's talking in your chat, then it's a great thing to throw out there and then start giving your opinion on it. So if somebody's listening, they may end up wanting to chime in when you say something. They're like, okay, hold on, I disagree, I think this, right? Or, oh dude, I totally agree with that. It gets people talking. And so if somebody's just watching, even if they don't interact in the chat, it's going to give them a reason to continue to stay there and continue watching you, whether they choose to talk or not. So question of the day, that's a big one. Now, since we've made it through these first 3 points, which are the basic kind of most important ways to keep talking, keep conversations alive and that sort of thing, the next 2 are going to be to continue that conversation long term and keep people active and involved beyond just that initial observation you made that made somebody talk about it with you for a few minutes, but this will keep that conversation flowing for a while. So tip number 4 is that differing opinions are a good thing as long as you don't let them turn into arguments. Debate spurs on conversation. And I'm reading off my notes here. If you see me looking down, it's because I wrote this out so I would remember how to say it. But that's what it is, right? Differing opinions are a good thing as long as they don't turn into arguments. You don't want to have a divisive conversation that splits your community in 2 and actually makes people angry with you or angry at each other, because that's not the purpose of you streaming. You're streaming to try to cultivate a community and make good content, right? But there are conversations out there that people can disagree on without having to get get upset at each other, right? You can have a great, even if it is a more controversial topic, as long as you can keep it more of a debate, a friendly debate, a back and forth, maybe, you know, giving each other a hard time or whatever. Dr. Phil 94 said that he likes to mix barbecue sauce with grape jelly and then put it in meatballs.
What?
Yes, that's my exact reaction too. That's a good thing, because when you differ an opinion, that means that now you're going to present your side, somebody else is going to present their side, other people will chime in with their sides, and you'll have a very lively conversation. Some of the best conversations that I've ever had on stream have been because somebody disagrees with something and we talk about it, right? They say, well, I don't agree with that because of this, this, and this. And I say, oh, that's very interesting. You know, I hear what you're saying. I kind of look at it from this, and this perspective. And then there's other people that pop in and they'll give their side, and somebody may agree with the person in the chat, somebody may agree with me, somebody may have a third opinion that they throw in there, but it keeps the conversation going and it makes for very, very, very good and active chat. So be okay with differing opinions. Don't be upset. You know, if somebody has a differing opinion than you, lean into that a little bit, as long as you don't let it get out of hand and make people upset each other or start putting each other down, or you know, becoming a big argument. That's not the purpose of it. So that can be a good thing. On the flip side of that, tip number 5 though, is that you can be relatable in your conversation topics, right? Sharing opinions and lighthearted subjects that other people can relate to is another great way to spur on the conversation. So let's say that you bring up the pineapple on pizza conversation, or more doors than wheels or wheels than doors, right? And people say, no, I think there's more doors in the world than there are wheels. And another person says, I think there's more wheels in the world than doors. Well, that's going to be a debate potentially. But when you share that opinion initially, you're sharing something that's relatable, because now everybody's going to probably take a stance. Somebody may say, well, I don't really care, it doesn't matter. And you could say, well, yeah, of course it doesn't matter, but which one do you think it is? And they say, well, I guess I'd have to say wheels because of this, right? And you can say, well, you know what, I feel the same way. Or they say, well, actually it's doors. And you say, why do you say that? Well, because of this and this. Oh, those are good points, man. I actually agree with that. You know, I also thought about this. And they say, yeah, that's good too. Now you're relating with people, right? And so also bringing up conversation topics that are relatable. Going back to the laundry, everybody's got to do laundry. Everybody likes food, or at least some type of food, right? Everybody has to sleep at some point for the most part. So like, so these are things that are very relatable and that people will have an opinion on, or will at least, they'll feel connected to you in some way. And you can talk about those things, and that will build closer relationships with your community. Forgiven Big Time says, I keep seeing the AT&T truck drive by and I keep wanting to stop them and beg them to install fiber. Big Time, trust me. I know the feeling. Every time I saw an AT&T truck, I would just look out the window. I would just press my face up against the window like this. My face was like, you know, I was just looking at him like, please guys, please. We'd be driving by, Mrs. Eagle's driving, you know, and I'm just like, please guys, please don't leave me, don't leave me down now. And it just never happened. Bring up relatable topics, push into relatable topics. If there's something that's happening that you've seen a lot of people are excited about, a game that's coming out, bring up that game and see what people think about it. You may have a few that disagree, and then that's okay. You have the differing opinions, but you can have a lot of people that may agree because it's a relatable topic about something that's happening currently, and they're going to chime in and talk with you. So it'll pull lurkers again, people that are lurking, just watching the stream. They may come over and start chiming in on that conversation because it's interesting, but it'll also keep people who are in the chat. It will keep them there and keep them active, because now you're talking about something interesting and you're creating content by doing that. And you may still be playing the game, of course, but now on top of them watching their favorite game, they're also having a conversation they care about. And this kind of is a hybrid form of content, which is what ultimately streamers really want to do. They want to produce content that people are really going to enjoy consuming and want to be a part of, because that's going to bring in returning viewers and ultimately longtime community members. Now, these are 5 things that I use pretty regularly when I'm streaming, and that I know a lot of other streamers do as well. But if you've got other things that you think of or that you use when you stream that help with chat interaction or help you get past those lulls when nobody's talking in the chat, leave them in the comments of this video. I'd love to hear your advice and your tips, because there's many more than these 5. These are just kind of the primary basic ones that everybody needs to know. So leave them down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys what you think. Also, if you you like this video, smack that thumbs up button for me to help get this video out to more people. And of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see when more videos like this go live. I produce content here on YouTube all the time. Would love to have you in the community here on YouTube, as well as on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/EagleGarrett. Swing on by, talk with me about this stuff, or just come hang out with us as we play games and have good conversations. We will probably be talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. So jump on by. We'd love to have you in there as well. We also have a great Discord at discord.gg/flock. So come on by and hang out with us in the Discord. We'd love to have you there. Great community. And then of course, on top of that, you can find me on all the social media, Twitter being my main one. So hit me up on Twitter, tweet at me if you got anything on your mind. I usually am quickest to respond on there. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next video, rock on, peace out, God bless. And last but not least, oh gosh. Oh shoot. Oh shoot, bro. Get out of here. No. Bro, I was pinched.